Welcome to the shit show.
It is the All Elite Wrap-Up for July 17th, 2025. We are your esteemed, world-renowned hosts. I am Tim. That's Tom. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm fucking
Nobody
miserable.
cares, Tom. What shirt are you wearing, Tom?
So
Well, you said you were feeling miserable, so I think we know. Yeah.
I lost the bet. Which,
Yes.
you know, again, charity, right? I have some things going on, so we couldn't have even matched. We couldn't have met up this week because I'm going through my health situations right now. So, like, keep the shirt, right? Like, I knew ahead of time. So I'm wearing.
It would have been more burdensome on you to have to talk to me than have to hold on.
No, to meet with you. To meet with you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. And look, I got a little Jeff Jarrett guitar.
Ugh.
And just like
where'd you pick
just
that
like
up
his gold, well, just
Five
like his
and dime?
gold, it doesn't work. Look at that. Just like his gold, you don't hear shit.
I almost heard a little duck fart right there.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, it came in the AEW crate. It's a piece of junk, but there it is. So it goes with the trash ass shirt that I'm wearing.
All the rest of the stuff they couldn't sell out of. So now,
there you go.
What do we do with 17,342 Jeff Jarrett mini guitars?
Well, let's fucking send them out. Yeah.
Children's Museum said no. So what are we gonna do with them now?
You're right. But yeah, man. So
Yeah.
AEW All In was this past weekend. It
was.
We're gonna talk about Dynamite, but before we do that, Tim, what'd you think of All In?
I felt like All In delivered on all expectations. I've seen people talking about, you know what I mean? I feel like some people are hyping it up a little too much, saying like greatest of all time or best or whatever. But like, I feel like it delivered with an A+, delivered on the major storylines, and just felt big time, right? Felt like a big deal, albeit it was long. Now, this one I could give you if it's your, we say WrestleMania, right? It's your year-end capping event.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's your Super Bowl. Okay, I get when you have a long one then, right? I'll give you a pass on that, albeit I'm inclined to give you less of a pass right now because I feel like a lot of them go long, but yeah. Hey, look, they had a lot of stories to tell us, though.
Yeah, but that was my only criticism is 6 hours. I mean, I even told you, we're here in Kansas City, in the central time zone, the one true time zone, Arrowhead time, Mahomes time, as everyone knows. You could leave from Kansas City when the first pyro starts for All In, not the pre-show, the actual pay-per-view, and you could land and get off the plane in Puerto Rico. Man, that's not...
catch the end of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, you could drive to Minneapolis. I put it in the Google Maps. It's like,
that's where it's a little much because
could have watched the whole show on the drive to Minneapolis. You know?
Yeah. Well, my wife watched a scary movie, the Royals game, and took a nap, and still caught the main event. That's a legit thing that really happened. And the Royals game started an hour after the pay-per-view. Yeah. And baseball is supposed to be the long, boring game. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, but the show was awesome. I mean, look, Hangman won. We all knew that. That was awesome. I felt like they did that really well. And, we're going to kind of filter in things about All In as we kind of chronologically go through last night's Dynamite to not make this a 3-hour podcast. But before we get into any of that, I want to remind everybody, find us online, right? We're on the Blue Sky primarily. That's where we live skeet. I took over duties last night out there. Normally it's Tom, but it felt like I didn't know what to do with my hands, right? So it's like intrusive thoughts win tonight, I guess. And so I just started...
That's how it is.
That's
how you work. Yeah. That's how it works sometimes.
You can find us, just search for us, or you can go to www.allelitewrapup.com. That is completely free to subscribe to, or you can just continue on without subscribing, but it is free and get you the emails to let you know when we're going live, right? Which we normally do Thursday nights. Sometimes we've got to juggle that around because we're busy ballers. And so, just subscribe there and get all you need. There's a donate link on there too, because you're big ballers. Now, Tom, everybody also should join in the chat, right? Like they should join in the chat. They should talk to us because one of us is boring, right? So we need the other ones out there following along to step up for that person.
Yes, that is what we need. Yes, indeedy, feed the needy,
Mm-hmm.
as an
Mm-hmm.
old co-host of mine used to say.
But what did you
Speaking
think
of,
about All In before
well,
before we
yeah,
got
the
into
only thing I thought was it was too long. I am
that?
still a proponent of give me variety. For
Mm,
example, and I'm not saying that this match should have been shorter than the others, right? But when Omega and Okada start their match and I'm hungry, I can walk away knowing I'm not going to miss the meat and potatoes of, the match, right? Because they're just going to do a lot of stuff. I've said it and I know it's not the greatest example, but it is something that I think AEW should do from time to time. But going over to WWE, one of my favorite WrestleMania matches is the second Goldberg versus Lesnar match. It was 5 minutes, it was all finishers, and it was done. Sometimes you need that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
mm-hmm.
don't need a back and a forth and a back and a forth and crowd work. It just, come on. Not every one of you are the same, right? Like, let's have, because we say variety, right? We have Hechicero, we
Yeah.
have Adam Page, we have Orange Cassidy, but then also have the, variety in matches too.
Sometimes you kick a guy in the face and pin him in 18 seconds.
Yeah. And that causes one of the greatest runs in wrestling history. So
It did. I mean, that was the birth of the Yes Chance.
Yeah.
I do at like that scale. Like people had started kind of doing it, but like, so it's almost, like that didn't happen because of that moment, but those moments happened at the same time. And it was almost like it helped it catch more fire, right? Because we were all into the like, yes, and then they were just like, boop, nope. We were like, fuck that, right? We were like, no,
we're gonna do it more. Yeah.
fuck with our guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I was just saying is we need a little bit more variety in the matches. One other thing too, and this is where it's difficult because there's not necessarily like a brand split, but I do like on pay-per-views teasing future rivals, right? So again, going back to WWE, when there was that brand split, and you saw, for example, Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle in a backstage segment, Raw, SmackDown, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's cool, right? And it's on the pay per view, so you're not going to get it on, in this case, Dynamite or whatever it was back then. You have to watch the pay per view. So a little bit, not saying everything needs to be backstage, but again, move the camera around, have the times
Mm-hmm.
different. Like we don't need the same
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheet for every pay per view.
Well, so the fallout from it happened here in what I read online, and correct me if I'm wrong, is a 3-week residency in Chicago, Illinois. Now, I don't know if all of them are at the Aragon Ballroom, the granddaddy of them all here, but this was, and it looked cool, right? It definitely was a contrast from the large arena from the night before. I will say that, right? It kind of took me back for a second, but it was a vibrant crowd, and the venue was a cool look.
Yeah, honestly, the vibe to me, I had to keep telling myself that they were in Chicago because it felt like it was in San Antonio, right? Like it kind of felt like a country western venue.
Well, I put that on the blue sky. I said, this makes it feel like his speech is to a small Mexican village in a Western movie.
Yeah,
right? Like he's like,
right.
and then we're going to run.
Yeah,
Felt like Three Amigos,
Yeah, Hangman kind of set the tone with his, attire as well. But yeah, just that second level of the architecture was definitely fascinating.
Man.
And again, doesn't feel like Chicago to me, but whatevs.
He's the flyest motherfucker out there, isn't he? Hangman, when he comes out
The
dressed like
best.
that for some reason. Yeah.
The best. I will
jacket
never
was
forget
smooth,
it,
man.
Yeah, I'll never forget when he kicked Kenny Omega's ass in like blue wash jeans with butterflies on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was like, that's our guy. Like it wasn't like, what the he didn't jump the shark, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, so as we're saying, he comes out to address the fans. And of course, the death match happens at All In. And I mean, holy shit. The most interesting thing that really sticks out to me even still is the walkout, right? So the music, they give that whole thing, the music hits, we're like, yeah, back to the new music, which we could probably see coming from a mile away. But then it's not just that he comes out of the face side, it's that they had the camera at the heel side, and they literally had to be like, wait, what? Right? And had to like flip over, like, oh shit, he's over here. And he even looked like, is this all right? Right? Like he was kind of like, is this cool to do this? That was great. Great moment.
Yeah. Yeah. When they want to, and they do a lot, I'm not saying that they don't like put effort into it, but those little details like that is what makes the pay-per-view, the matches, the Dynamites so special because pro wrestling trope is the camera always knows where the next thing's going to be, right? Like they are, past events in other promotions, they would have already had it on the babyface because that's the big reveal, but like it fooled them. So I think the next thing that they need to do to get the full circle babyface Hangman is, remember on the lower third when they would have his name, but then like right above his name, it's like has been drinking all day. And they're like, we
some
need to
random
add that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The graphics department needs to be like,
Get
championship
that
belt
back.
was, championship belt was confiscated at customs or something, just like silly stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Temporarily lost the belt when he went to the bathroom at the bar.
Yeah.
found it out back. Yeah.
Can't answer
spread
calls.
Around.
Can't answer calls, drop phone in toilet, which, side note, because I just love the story. He actually told me that when I met him right here, right there. I had the new iPhone. He's like, is that the newest iPhone? I was like, yeah. He's like, mine just dropped in the toilet. I was like, right now? He's like, no, I was pissing 2 days ago and I was trying to text while I was pissing, dropped it in the toilet. I was like, hey, and I go, even Babe Ruth struck out. And he's like, you know what? He did.
Love it. Yeah, I love it. All right, so, and the match, before we talk about Dynamite, holy shit, right?
Yeah, this was sports entertainment, right? Like, sports entertainment done right. I saw that this was described as Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania 40, rated R. Like, it was the same run-ins and this thing, and Darby comes from the top of the baseball stadium, all that kind of stuff. But
this warranted that, right? This is a culmination of 2 years of storytelling in multiple different storylines, even, right?
Yeah, and we'll get to it as we kind of talk about the main event of last night's show. But it definitely feels like Moxley already has his dancing partner falling out of All In, which should be interesting because again, he's got old Darby's number. But we'll get to that when we do. So, yeah, the match was great. The match was great. The fork. Did you see AEW posted the slow-mo fork?
Slow motion?
Fucking blood coming out.
Yeah, hey, we ain't faking ain't no sports entertainment here, motherfucker.
Yeah. Dragging Hangman through the broken glass. Jesus
so
Christ.
much stuff here. And then even moments that weren't bloody, when he lined the two chairs up to each other and just
the broken
threw
spine.
Moxley down on That one I believed. I was like, Moxley, God. Well, he didn't have to act on that one. And shout out to Moxley. Might have had the moment of the night with his cell job on the choking
my God.
with the chain.
Yeah. That was it was animalistic. That's what honestly I thought.
Yeah.
It felt like
he feared for his life. He really was like, oh shit.
You know when you watch National Geographic and the lion gets the antelope or gets the whatever it is, the goat. Do they eat goats? Whatever. But and then the fear in the animal Moxley was fucking
you
awesome.
could tell he was like, oh shit, and he was trying anything to flail and then knew this is done. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Fucking gotta do it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Would you have rather him pass out?
No. I like that he's smart enough to know it ain't worth dying, right? But that's what will happen, right? So I gotta, Darren 83 in the chat says you gotta poke holes in your mox so he doesn't explode in the microwave.
Yeah, I watched a video the other day of this one guy fucking with someone on this, you meet random people. He's like, hey, put this egg, don't touch or anything. Just put this egg in a bowl and put it in the microwave for 5 minutes. And then 2.5 minutes in, you just boom, and it fucking takes off and explodes the guy's microwave. He's like, don't ever talk shit to me again. And then ends the call. That's funny. I just watched it today.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, the swerve part at the end, right? Throwing the chain and then just kind of being like, all right.
Well, that's the interesting part. So, yeah, I guess let's talk about Dynamite. So, as you mentioned, Hangman comes out and he
thanks everybody.
I will say, and Swerve did it too, and I will say it, and it has not changed my mind. Swerve is the coolest guy in professional wrestling, but stop this malarkey of, it's for the fans. The fuck. I'm a fan and I don't like that you're saying it. It's corny. It's, after school
malarkey.
Special. Yeah. It's silly ass malarkey. But other than that, I like the thank yous. The thank you to Darby, the thank you to Copeland. Like he was even thanking the people that led up to his match, thanking
Jay
Orange
White?
Cassidy,
You think Jay White?
Yeah. But when he thanked Swerve,
I thought that was a foreshadowing. I thought we were going to get him to come out and be like, well, guess who's first in line, bitch? And
yeah. Well, yeah. And so then he thanked Swerve. And as you shared with me, Swerve on Twitter, I guess it was, said, "You're welcome."
Mm-hmm.
But what are we? So yeah. So anyhow, Hangman does that, right? And again, nothing, monumental, but thanking Swerve, I think, was the hook in the promo. Yeah, it was a good first segment.
Yeah. Well, and he also said, he threw in a like, I cried, and that doesn't make me less of a man kind of a thing too. Yeah, he threw a lot of things in this.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't. It doesn't. But also, don't make it your whole personality.
Well, that's it too. Yeah, doing it too often starts to make it feel like it.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah,
because when people,
and I don't even say it makes you less manly. I just think it makes me like stop it, right? Like we talked about this with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks in their WrestleMania match, where they were crying at the start of it. And it was like, guys,
yeah. It's a halt to it's a halt to a conversation. It's a halt to the interaction, and in wrestling, it's a halt to the match. So yeah, again, love that because when he broke down and was about to open up the case, and you start to see him start to ball up and get tears in his eyes, perfect. But he didn't do the he just went. Okay,
he's not wiping his face. And let me tell you another thing.
Right? Yeah. And so that's what I always tell people is, hey, all your emotions are valid, but also don't make them your personality. You know what I mean?
They're valid, but we don't got to hear them all. I mean,
that's what. Yeah, come on. You know what I mean? For sure.
All right. Anything else about the Hangman opening segment? Again, like nothing crazy here. Nobody ran out to whoop his ass. Nobody,
Yeah, I would say, I want Hangman to get the ball rolling quicker, because if you remember his last title reign, he came out and he had the championship, and then Bryan Danielson came out and he's like, "You're not wrestling at WrestleMania 30." But this time it was just hey guys, and it's like, man, you're the champion. We need you to rock and roll. You know what I mean? Get something going. But yeah, other than that, it was really great.
We got Bleach Fan 2.0 in the chat. This is a new and improved Bleach Fan, Tom. Why didn't Hangman say his famous catchphrase, "That's cowboy shit"? Yeah, he didn't sneak a cowboy shit in there.
Crowd said it for him.
Missed opportunity.
Crowd says it for him.
Crowd.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
You say,
that's true.
I got this on lock. You know what I mean?
We got a short video, and we'll see these folks again later, but the former EVPs arrive in seemingly an Uber, and they got to get their own luggage out, right? Great stuff.
Yeah. And then what I thought was interesting is, they're being mocked by Renee. Renee's like, "Oh, you guys are back there." Like, "Oh, you like this?" And she's like, "I kind of do. Ha ha ha." But then I found it interesting that they're about to get into their locker room, which they marked out Matthew and Nicholas and just put Matt and Nick. But then Ricochet and the Gates of Agony walk by and are like, "You guys kind of suck." And I was like, that's weird. That was a weird interaction.
I thought that was a weird interaction, but it did make 4 out of 5 of them were wearing just a vest. So that was, it was a vest party up there.
Yeah. Chicago vest party.
Yep. And that actually happened a little later. We can talk more about that later. This was like the first thing we got was just them like arriving to the arena, and Excalibur and Taz are making fun of them, right?
Oh, yeah. It was broken up. Yeah, definitely. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Now so they lost the match at All In to Swerve and Ospreay. And during that match, I think it was the opening, they're doing their shtick again. They're riding in on that boat like they're crossing the Potomac and shit. And Taz, first of all, was like, well, at least it was long, right? And then Tony Schiavone, he was like, I don't know where this thing came from, that the money went to their head and it changed him. He was like, Taz has got all kinds of money and never went to his head.
They're great together. Yeah, they're great together.
But yeah, and that match was fine too, right? And I think this felt like the more easy, likely outcome, right? Because you don't have a year-long thing to write around. But man, that story just still feels.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do, because are we just gonna have them be the butt of every joke now, right? Because we'll get to their match.
Yeah, how long does this last, right? Yeah, exactly.
Where they're just
Yep. Well, the first match that came up was Mascara Dorada and Kyle Fletcher. Now, backtrack to All In. Kyle Fletcher was supposed to take on Adam Cole, Bay, right? For the
TNT Championship.
And then, Adam Cole can't do it no more, Bay, right? And might not be able to do it anymore, he says. What'd you think of this before we start getting too deep in this?
I thought it was interesting because it was one of those things like, hey, an added bonus for buying the pay-per-view is he's not going to say this on Dynamite or Collision. He's saying this right on the pay-per-view. The one thing that I found interesting was the interaction at the end. So Adam Cole does his thing. Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong are there, which, by the way, Kyle O'Reilly, does he fucking wrestle with a glucose patch on? Did you see that on his arm? I think he wrestled with it with a little, to check, because he's a type 1 diabetic. Jesus Christ, that's a needle in your fucking body the entire time. What is he, John Moxley? Like, it was just crazy. But getting back to my point, I thought it was interesting, the Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole, because they kept it on there, right? It felt like something was on purpose for showing you Garcia and Cole. But, again, if Cole's legitimately out, that may mean nothing.
So, and maybe not, I guess, is what I took from that. But I almost took that, he kind of was like, I feel like I'm going to have to, but I don't want to even think about it or address it as such right now. But it's more than likely, maybe. And that sucks. We've said here recently that we don't think
he's a nerd
on a rise right now, but
he's a nerd, but he definitely had his moment in time. He definitely has some really cool moments in AEW. I think definitely a really, really great wrestler, and it's sad if this is the end, how that would happen.
Bleach Fan 2.0 asks, is 24 a late age to start professional wrestling? I mean, DDP did it in his 30s.
Yeah, I said any age is a great age.
And we saw a guy who was 84 at the GCW
Oh
show.
My God.
That's the only time he's been wrestling.
Yeah. That's the only time I legitimately thought about jumping in the ring and don't touch this man. You guys wrestle all this, but we're saving him. I was
getting ready to call the Department of Public Health. I was
getting
ready to go over to the commission and be like, do your fucking job. Don't let this guy.
What the fuck is this? Yeah, that poor bastard. He's the Juggalo heavyweight champion, right? Isn't that what they said?
I think so. That's what it was. Yeah, whatever they call that.
That guy. That was a guy.
Those people took back the beer can that he got blood all over that he took from them. No. I would have been like, no, sir. No.
Nope. You keep that, brother.
All right. So because of that, they now make a match of Kyle Fletcher versus Daniel Garcia versus Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. And I don't know why they did that. Obviously, it was to get to Dustin Rhodes winning it. I also don't know why they did that. But, man, I just felt we could have just cut this match and done this on Dynamite,
Yes. And I think it was so Dustin Rhodes beat Daniel Garcia. If you were going to do anything, have Dustin Rhodes beat Sammy Guevara. And then that's at least interesting, right? Because Sammy Guevara did the whole thing of ooh, maybe I'm jealous of him, but then, okay, I actually like him. But if you have him actually beat Sammy Guevara, now those are different emotions.
Because they had tension in the match even.
Yeah.
They alluded to that. He was like, what the fuck you do, man? That's my only shot and all this kind of stuff. So should have pinned him. You're right.
Yeah.
100% he should have pinned him.
And now Daniel Garcia lost to Adam Cole, lost to Kyle Fletcher, now lost to Dustin Rhodes. It's
72-year-old man he lost to.
Yeah, is Magic Man fucking really should be in your corner? Because it seems like you're a loser.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So, we get Dustin Rhodes, who signed a 6-year contract whilst being 5 years into his last ride.
Last ride, brother.
So we're scheduled for an 11-year last ride at least. Now, don't get me wrong. The guy will be in better shape at the end of that career or at the end of that contract than I probably have ever been in my life. But Jesus.
It's not interesting. It's not an interesting story. That's the thing that I don't like. I don't even necessarily hate old, or not hate, but dislike old wrestlers. I don't like old wrestlers that are just in neutral. Now, he's champion, so maybe something's happening out of this, but he was a guy that's just in neutral. And so it's like, I don't really have an interest in watching that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And at this point, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm kind of turned off by the face paint and the get up these days. I know the get up's probably to hide tattoos that are probably not good, right? That like he doesn't want out there, but like, I just feel like you could change something, right?
Yeah.
You're walking around like half gold dust these days, and I just don't get it.
Well, it's alluding to remember, but yeah, it's
I know, but like I don't gotta remember. We know who the fuck you are, man.
Yeah, and again, change the one last ride then, right? Stop having that in your fucking video that you come out.
And our highest liked skeet during the show was me asking people to sign my petition to make it illegal for Sammy Guevara to ever wear a cowboy hat ever again. So we get to Mascara Dorada and Kyle Fletcher, and man, I hope we get to Kyle Fletcher going to Dustin Rhodes and being like, "You didn't pin me, you old bitch," and then like. Dustin does the like, I'm going to give the young guy the rub and let him murder me is my hope. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I also think it'd be interesting if Kyle Fletcher is like, what the fuck? This plan all changed. Dawn, I thought that the reason I have you is so this shit doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
You know what happens here is Kyle Fletcher and Dustin get into a little back and forth, right? We get a couple weeks out of this, and it still looks like Dustin Rhodes can do everything to overcome this family until fucking Sammy Guevara comes out and is like,
yeah, I think
punch.
Sammy will do something with it, but I think it
may not join the group, but just
fuck Dustin. Yeah. Because now he also has 3 titles. He's the Ring of Honor Trios, Ring of Honor Tag, and now the TNT. Man, fuck out of here. You ain't Kenny Omega. Like, get your belts out of here. You're not Mercedes Moné. Fucking stop that shit,
See how skinny you are. You don't need a belt, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. And a good match here with Mascara Dorada and Kyle Fletcher. But I don't think anybody thought Fletcher would lose this.
Yeah, this was the Fletcher is still the fucking shit. Don't you forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And after that is when we get what you were alluding to. Renee's fucking with them, the EVPs. The guy's rewriting Matt and Nick, and they're like, it's Matthew and Nicholas, right? And
former EVPs.
Yeah, former EVPs. And then you get, the Ricochet thing. But then Don Callis walks up. And the line of the night was, he's like, I know we've had our problems, but now that Kenny's dead, now we can, and they were just like, I guess you're right. Like,
yeah.
Right. I mean, but you can see they felt dirty, like hugging him and just being like, ugh.
Yeah, because they got both of their faces, or the 3 people. They got Don Callis' face, who was like a ha 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 ha, I'm up to something. And then you got the Young Bucks faces where they're like, well, I guess this is our best option.
Yeah.
Like
this
kind of
felt
sucks.
Dirty is what I felt, and it was awesome. I do like it. I don't know if it was in this segment or later. At one point, Don Callis was like, friends, come hang out with the family. I got like 15 people. I got a big faction.
Yeah.
Don Callis is great.
He does.
All right. I think it was clear where we're going, and we get more of that when they come out later, right? What we do get after that is MJF and the Hurt Syndicate addressing their enemies, right? And MJF's sitting there. He's got his contract, as it were. And I thought this was pretty well, man. MVP started it, right? And then they let MJF speak a little bit. He didn't go too far, right? I felt like he delivered a good, solid stuff, and then we're out.
So help me understand these contracts, because even later in the night, Athena was like, maybe I'll do it on this night. So is it I have to declare a match, or is it a Money in the Bank type thing where it's like I can just run in and cash in?
I don't think it is. I think it's they get to kind of pick and choose when they want, but maybe you can. I think maybe you can do both. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't want
like MJF was acting like he could have, but he won't.
Right. I want them to do the matches next week or the matches tonight. I don't want the Hangman's wrestling Swerve for 30 minutes and then MJF just comes in and pins Swerve and gets the championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Because the thing you could do is like, all right, tomorrow night, or Wednesday night when you're still beat up, Hangman, right? Like that's how you do that.
Yeah.
I like what good, right?
Yeah, MJF said something to the effect of, I'm the embodiment of your depression or like your fear. I thought that was good too. Because that first, remember, that wasn't that long ago. that match that they had and the feud that kind of culminated. And MJF mentioned it again. He's like, I'll let you be the main character. He's so jealous of that. You know what I mean? That just
Yeah.
drives him crazy.
Actually, I'm reading his words here. He did say, if Dictator John would have won it, it would have been easy, man. I got nothing to prove there. I would have executed this contract and I would have pinned him in a weakened state. But
Yeah. Okay.
you winning, I've got everything to prove.
So I guess you
so
can.
it sounds
but I
like,
don't like that.
I guess you can. But it's
I don't like
interesting
that.
and it's interesting that like Athena wouldn't just take that opportunity, right? Like why she would want, like I get MJF feels like he's got like a, you know what I mean, a thing to prove and that kind of shit and doesn't want people to say, you know what I mean? But
I would just say they should have the shot at the next pay-per-view. It's an automatic, right? We already know the two matches for the next pay-per-view. It's Tony Storm, Athena, and it's Hangman MJF. And then we'll just get the story to get there.
Yeah, he ended that with, you can be the main character all you want. I got no problem being the bad guy because last time I checked, nice guys finished last. And then MVP was like, oh yeah, we are not nice at all. I thought that was good.
And
good pro wrestling promo.
Yeah, and with the Hurt Syndicate, I didn't pick them to win, and that kind of fucked me. Thanks, guys. You hurt my feelings more than you hurt people. Wearing this fucking bullshit shirt.
Yeah, this also felt like a match that, like, it didn't need to, you know what I mean?
Well, the whole thing was to get to the after, right? For Adam Copeland to come out and save Christian, go find yourself. I thought that was fine because the go fuck yourself. I think he still should have said go fuck yourself. I think he should have said go fuck yourself and then come back and said, and find who you are, and then left. But now it looks like it's going to be Hurt Syndicate and FTR. But I don't know. Tag team needs a reset because they're punking these guys.
The Hurt Syndicate feels like they're in a weird spot because from everything I can tell, MVP, when he's running the tag team of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin out there, they're face. But when he's running the quad or it's just him and MJF, they're very heel, right?
Yeah.
So it feels odd, right? It feels and we like every single one of these people a lot, right? They're all crowd favorites, but they're not supposed to be, you know what I mean? I guess, I guess there's a gray area to live in there, right? It feels early, NWO-ish, right? Where like they're doing all traditional bad stuff, but we're like, fuck yeah, I like these guys, right? They're just too cool, right? They're too cool to not be liked, yeah. All right, so then we roll into an all-star 8-man tag. Brody King, ROH World Champion Bandito, and Jet Speed taking on the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick, and who else was on their side? I'm missing.
Is it Hechicero?
Yeah, it was Hechicero and why did they didn't put it in the headline here? Josh Alexander, right? Yeah.
Human Weapon, yeah.
Yeah, when they came out, I was just like, man, Hechicero is so much cooler.
Yeah, they need to do something.
This looks bad together.
Yeah, and Don Callis needs to, gas these guys up because they're kind of feeling like just filler.
Here's the thing with the Don Callis family, and I like the idea of like, it's very Heenan family-esque. Where like not everybody's the same here. This isn't like we're all wearing the same thing faction, but when you do that and you got Hechicero and Josh Alexander coming out for a tag team match, it looks like you're playing a video game and you pick two random wrestlers to be your tag team.
Yep, definitely.
So,
yeah.
But I do like that we get Matt and Nick come out, right? And they're like, yeah, hit the pyro. And they're like, what the fuck, guys? Well, where is the pyro, right? So they keep looking for that. And then they, the music cuts out. They play this real quick video of them getting their ass whipped at the pay-per-view, and we all have a good laugh at them, and then we roll into this match, which again is prime AEW wrestle, right? It's the hold your hand wrestling. They're all over the spot. They're doing all the things, but it felt like we kind of established Matt and Nick here, the Young Bucks, back as like, hey, don't forget, man, we can fucking do this, right? We can throw down.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say that we need to keep in mind is Brody King, right? We don't need Brody King to just be floating around being cool, aesthetic, then doing nothing.
He's one guy in an 8-man match almost every week, feels like, somehow.
Yeah, so we need to get him rolling. And it felt like we were kind of building towards Bandito and Hechicero for the ROH Championship, which is, hey, that's fun, like that. So I think it got all the check marks and checked all the boxes that it was trying to do. So overall, I enjoyed
if I remember here, Let me double check. Yeah, Hechicero got the win here, right? Like he choked out Bandito essentially.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
those two are they're going to be the ones that, you know,
yeah,
go
yeah,
after
yeah.
or fight over
All
the
right.
Ring of Honor Championship. So,
The rated R superstar,
oh, hey.
Adam Copeland. And they do the thing, right? They do the thing that everybody's got to do now. They sing a song
Stop
along
it.
with it.
Stop. No one,
Yeah, I
no,
think it's time
stop
to
sing
stop it.
along. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Don't like
Yep.
it.
Yep. And he comes out to, give his spiel. Like, hey, returning, here's what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then we get
Big Stoke. Woo!
Stokely comes out surrounded by security, right? So you just know he's going to get murdered, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that when everybody was giving him shit, they were booing him or saying something bad, and he was like, well, thanks for that warm welcome. It sounds like the Hathaway family reunion.
Yeah.
So good.
He's the best. Yeah, but I thought this was very cookie cutter. You can't touch FTR. Oh, I can't. Well, that says nothing about you. And it's like, come on. That's
Yeah, but it does throw a thing. If that's the thing, he can't now. How do we tell this story now? What happens?
Christian gets him. Christian gets him. Christian is like, hey.
So they keep beating him up, but like he can't touch him for some reason.
Right. Yeah. And then Christian's like, you motherfuckers, you were there holding my head down so Nick Wayne could hit me in the head with the chair. Like, because again, that's the detail that I think people may have forgotten is FTR was like, hey, Nick, here's the chair. Hit fucking Christian right in the head. Like, you can do this. It wasn't, I mean, it was Nick and Kip and Mother Wayne kind of doing their plan, but it was also FTR saying, hey, we can help you guys do this a little cooler.
So we're going to get the Cope and Christian run, and I think we'll even get the tongue-in-cheek kind of real, like where they first were, right? They're going to go hand, almost like the second run of DX, right, where it's a little too cheesy. It'll be saved by Christian because he's actually creative and funny,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, look, we got to do it. And I think it'll be fine, and it'll be nostalgic, But
All Out's in Toronto, so you gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta have that.
So we're gonna hit it quick too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. Is we're gonna get to this. We're gonna have some fun, and
then hug it out. That's where that's where they're gonna reunite. They're gonna hug it out there.
Yeah, something to that.
There'll be like a 2-on-1 or something.
My hope, though,
Cope.
My hope is that when it ends, it's not Christian turning on Adam or Adam turning on Christian. I hope they kind of just shake hands and go, all right, that's what we wanted to accomplish. And now I'm going to go after this and you go after that. You know what I mean?
So Mark Briscoe runs down MJF here, gets real serious, right? Gets, hey, this shit ain't cool, right? Like I can't just let this slide still. And so we're going to get this again, right? We're going to kind of get more to this, right? They're going to run this.
Well, that's interesting because then, like I was saying, so MJF, let's just assume MJF's going to stay busy with Mark Briscoe because Mark Briscoe's like, this ain't over, right? So then what is Hangman doing? Your champion. Like, you can't leave him out in no man's land. That's where I was saying we got to start him up and make sure that we got that shit rolling.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going here. And again, Mark Briscoe does fine here, right? I feel like
it's great.
Believable. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe MJF is a very fun feud. My criticism or, critique would be don't leave Hangman out to dry just because now he's champion.
So now these two guys were in the men's casino gauntlet, which, I mean, was all over the place, right? I can't even on top of recall think of the highlights, but we got the return of Juice Robinson. Bad face shaving
Why
job.
did he do that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
And he was dressed like a create a character. Like, just no.
That's what I said. It looks like the first run of Bo Dallas in NXT.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on there.
It does.
Yeah. And, gosh, what else happened in there?
The Ass Boys were with him, right? The Ass Boys came out and helped.
Ass Boys were with him. Yeah. Yeah, again, those casino gauntlets, I do like the unpredictability, I think, of it. It feels like a Royal Rumble-esque event, right? But it's not like so rigid and not just easy, right? Like throw them over the rope and stuff, right? Like I like the gauntlet, but one of these times you're going to have to pull the triggers on like it ends quick, right? Third, fourth person, and you got people in the back like, fuck, man, right? Like,
well, and also you have to have a finish that's quick because it was weird jumping ahead to the women's where I think it was Will Ospreay's wife, Windsor, right? Kate Windsor, something like that.
Yep.
She came out, and then they wrestled for like 19 minutes, and it was like, so no one else was coming out after her. That's where it's like, if they're gonna still, if the entire locker room is eligible for this match, well, you can't just have the ending sequence when the last person enters be 10, 15 minutes, because then logically you'd be like, well, call the next person. Let's get the next person out there. So
Yeah.
that'd be the only
Both
criticism of the
I
match.
feel like both of those Casino Gauntlet matches, though, delivered pretty good, right? I was entertained by both of them. I thought there was a lot of good spots.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. So we know MJF won the men's. Oh, and then it was Athena, right?
Athena
But
won
that
it.
felt
Yeah.
like it kind of came out of nowhere. It felt like quick, right? It was like, oh shit, and then Athena got it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it didn't feel like a definitive like build up to a moment, right? For a reason.
Yeah, and then I thought, because this match happened before Tony Storm and Mercedes, with Athena winning, everyone was like, well, then we know who wins that match, because they've been teasing Mercedes versus
Which
Athena.
was a hell of a swerve, right?
Yeah, that was a good one. But
yeah, I
staying on
don't know if
topic
that
with
was
this
the
one.
deciding factor on making Athena, but I'm sure it had to play in their mind, right? Like, well, everybody's gonna think.
Yeah, and that's a great placement of it. But staying back on the men's match, I want Ricochet to get, again, I'm saying the word heat or the phrase heated up. I just mean like more focus on him. Let's not forget that Ricochet likes scissors and puts them in people's head. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep him active. I don't want him to just be the other person in a gauntlet match, So
Yeah. No, I agree. Now, if he's got security now, and they're impressive security, right? Like when we were talking about it being crew being his thing, like that's a difference, a little bit more comedic, right? This is now, these are some badasses, right? These dudes are jacked.
Maybe it's Ricochet who goes after Dustin. Maybe it's Ricochet who becomes the TNT champ. That's what I would like. You know what I mean? Because again, Kyle Fletcher's great. He looks the part. He, looks good getting off the bus. But I like crazy Ricochet. And that's weird to say, right? 3 years ago, we said Ricochet had no fucking personality.
Yeah, I would have never been like, let's get Ricochet over to AEW and give him a title. I would have been like, Tom, this podcast is over.
Yeah, definitely.
The $100,000 women's four-way match, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, the Toxic Spider, Tekla, and Queen Aminata, who online had said they would donate that $100,000 to an anti-ice fundraiser. So I was rooting for the Queen.
Fuck Donald Trump.
But, in the end, that didn't happen, right? But, again, this match was also crazy, right? These ladies are, all of them, also crowd favorites, right? And I can't help but smile every time Willow Nightingale is on TV. I've really started taking a big affinity to Queen Aminata lately, because they're selling her as like she's ready for the fight at all times, and that's awesome to me, right? I like that a lot. The one thing I would say with the Queen Aminata is the slam the face into the ass move. It's too much. It's too comedic at this point. It's one thing if like a person's sitting there, you get in there and you do it once or twice and they're like, oh, God damn it. But it should never be a move that like now leaves a person woozy and knocked out, because no, right? Like, no. Like you might break somebody's nose possibly doing that, right? But like you're not concussing a motherfucker doing that over and over, especially at the pace that you're doing it at, right? Like it doesn't come off right. Use it more as like a taunting tactic, I feel like, and it would come away better. But in the end here, we got a little bit of a twist, right? Tekla wins this. And it's
Julia Hart and
Spooky Girls.
Sky Blue. Yeah. So like, is
the
she
Scooby-Doo villains?
Because like it looked that way, right?
Yeah.
Which, what the fuck?
Except
Julia
I don't
Hart,
know. I don't know. She was like kind of like looking. So maybe she's like, yeah, my new pro. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. Or maybe this is a quote unquote leaderless group. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say the one thing though with the match that I would say is a criticism, and it's not like a huge criticism, but I'm kind of a little over it. Willow and Chris Statlander, we get it. Okay, we got it. Like we can't just have them continuously beat each other up to the back or whatever it is. Like.
There was that one spot where Chris Statlander kept getting the raw end of everybody moving out of the way. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, but just do something else, right? Like we've seen that enough. And again, their matches are awesome, and it's a good feud, but it's just a little bit.
But I'm going to hit again on the ending here with this new soon-to-be faction or trios of these ladies. Okay, spooky faction. I've got to see some spooky shit happen. I yell this at the clouds all the time. You are not spooky because you dressed up in goth clothes, right? Like,
Right. Because you went to
that's
Hot Topic.
fucking cosplaying, right? Like,
Yeah.
I need you to fucking kidnap and murder somebody or whatever the equivalent of that is. It's supposed to be spooky here, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's got an Ultimate Warrior tar running down their face or something.
Or just do like realistic spooky stuff. Like remember when
Disappear him out of a coffin?
No, not that. I'm saying like remember when Daniel Garcia kidnapped Jack Perry and they just put him in a barn, like sitting in a chair, like something like that, right? Like that's not spooky, but it is spooky in the sense.
Having them hung upside down somewhere, you know what I mean? While they're terrorizing them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to do something here because otherwise it's just, oh, look, they're trying to sell to the goth girls now. You know what I mean? Like that's really what we're trying to do here.
Sure, right, yeah. And again, let's give them patience, but also turn it up. This is the out of the box promotion, right? We try, and I say we, but AEW tries not to just be
we put a bloody death match on the biggest event of the year with all the eyes on, with all the mainstream media talking about like this event is hype, and we said, yeah, go for it. Stab motherfucker with a fork in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah. So the spooky girls, you have permission, right?
Hang somebody, goddammit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's cut somebody's fucking head off. All right. Like you said, on TV, right? Like on scripted television.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned Athena wins the women's casino gauntlet match.
Right.
And she comes up in this next segment. Before we get there, we got to talk about All In. Timeless Tony Storm successfully defended.
Oh, I was so happy.
The title against Mercedes Moné in a crazy match is all I can say. Again, Mercedes Moné's absolute number one strength is her matches and her wrestling. And Tony Storm, as great as she is with her presence and her microphones and her promos and all that, she is also does a crazy job in the ring here. I'll say she's really good, if not great. She can get a little gimmicky, but that's the character at current moment, so it kind of lends to it. But just all kinds of great wrestling and nonsense in this match. I felt like it was really well done.
I love the spot when Tony Storm hit 3 of those like. It's an interesting pile driver because it's not like the pro wrestling pile driver. It's I got him up. Everyone see it. And then now hers are like, gotcha.
Yeah, just boom, boom. Yep.
And she did like 3 in a row. And I thought that was going to be it. I did like the finish, the kiss, right? Because they've been kind of flirtatiously, violently flirting kind of whatever with them.
Well, it's Tony Storm's kind of like that's the new spin she's put on this too. It's very sex forward, right?
Yeah. And so the kiss. Now here's where I'm interested, and Collision will be Saturday night, so hopefully we'll see or hear something from her. But now what does Mercedes do, right? Because she still has that TBS championship. So does she just say, oh, well, guess what? I still run shit here because I got this belt, and then we get somebody.
I feel like what you need to do is, she's got to be around, right? She's probably maybe trying to be humble in whatever way that character could be, right? And just kind of try to blow it off if anybody's asking her thing. And then somebody's got to start poking fun and making fun of her and fucking with her, right?
Who do you think it'll be?
So who's a face that could pull that off on the women's side? So again, you would have felt like Athena is the perfect shit talker to come in and say something here, right? But that's, as we'll get into, out the gate here. So, I mean, you could go. The thing is, again, we had Mercedes run through a bunch of these people, right? Like Willow isn't the type to make fun of her for that. Chris Statlander is in the like, I'm just mad and gonna fuck everybody up. I feel like Queen Aminata couldn't really pull that off. No. Maybe the spooky girls fuck with her. But then we'd almost be turning Mercedes face, right?
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. No.
I mean, I don't want to, but.
Not a likable person. Yeah. Not a likable person.
Who do you got for this? I'm trying to.
I would
maybe it's
say
Alex Windsor or something. I don't know.
I would say Willow. I would say let's go back to Willow because I felt like Willow kind of got the short end of the stick where it was like it was Mercedes' first match, so we all knew kind of the outcome. Well, now let's give her another shot and say, well, what will happen here? And then have her get a chance to win her championship back from Mercedes, who she lost that championship to, right? I would say first start with Willow. You can never go bad with Willow. And then if you do want to kind of, get some shine on Will Ospreay and Will Ospreay's kind of people around him. Yeah, get his wife in there, and Windsor can start to do something. Which I told you, Windsor sounds like a witch in a children's book.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm watching what's it?
Well, librarians.
Bridgerton or whatever.
Yeah. And so it's a fine, but let's do something else.
Yeah. So at Dynamite, again, with the cool venue, up in that one balcony spot, we get Toni Storm in the gray. It's not black and white now. It's like black, white, and red, right? They only show the red, which is cool. And she gets into some of her, standard phrases. But then I do like that she mentioned that she would eat Mercedes alive, and she said you were delicious. Because remember, she bit her pussy, essentially. She
bit both of her lips. You know what I mean? She bit her face, and she bit her legs,
She said, if you want to come back for seconds, this buffet is always open. She said, my tits are pointing to the future, which is a great line. I was like, that's my new motivational phrase. My tits are pointing to the future, which means they're pointing, like that. Anyway. And then, just a bunch of these things, right? And as she's kind of going through that, right? Everybody's loving it. We get the interruption from Athena, and I forget her name all the time.
Billy Starks.
Her minion, Billy Starks, who fits in this. She looked annoyingly pestering, right? And I was like, okay, I get it. I see this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was good. Again, I didn't understand the contract. So when Athena was showing Billy, like, maybe it's this date right here. Yeah, let's write that in. That's where, like, what? So is it just any time? Or again, let's clarify that. Let's clarify that moving forward, because it's a little bit.
Well, maybe we'll get that on Collision. Maybe it's going to be like, and then this Sunday or whatever,
Yeah.
The next pay-per-view, right? Yeah. Which is, is it all out?
It's all out.
Forbidden Door. It's all out. Yeah.
Or Forbidden Door, then all out. Yeah. They go out to London.
Yeah, but usually they do more like, now this guy's going to take on somebody from East German wrestling. Like, all right.
Yeah. Which they might, right? We'll get something. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then Toni Storm, always never scared, never shaken. It's like, all right, bitch. I forget what she said. Oh, she said, if you're ready, I will be sweaty. If you are willing, I will be thrilling. And if you're able, I'll bend you over the table. Because she's timeless.
Because I am timeless. I like how she says that too. I am timeless. Yeah, that's a good one.
I also like that she just basically made herself like go down, like, I don't know, elevate her down. But then the camera caught her just stand up and walk away.
Yeah, a little bit of a mishap there. But yeah, it was a great promo. The only thing that I would say was kind of funny, but it was no one's fault, is, as you mentioned, it was black, gray, and red. But then it also showed anyone in the crowd who was red. So it was like, wait a minute, are those people like her dedicated fans?
Of course.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it made me start to think.
Yes, they are.
But
everybody's her dedicated fan.
Yeah, but that was really good. I did like the whole promo. And I like when she does that, Abraham Lincoln sitting the kind of thing. I mean, don't get shot in the head,
goes back to the character very well too, right? Yeah, she's speaking from like a box. Yeah. All right, well then we got on here, and I thought all of this was solidly not bad. Was pretty decently good. We get the Nick Wayne, Kip Sabian, Mother Wayne promo, and all of them cut a pretty decent promo here. I was honestly pretty surprised.
Yeah, the only thing I was confused on is they kind of were all taking credit, right? Kip Sabian was like, okay, so this was my plan. That's why we did it there. It went well. And then Mother Wayne was like, oh, I knew that there was going to be a time when you couldn't do it. Yeah. And then, Nick Wayne was like, I think
it's that. I think they said, I got the feeling that they both said that, like, they both understood that, like, the real future here was protecting the boy and not this old bastard, right? And so they hatched this plan, which is fine. And in fact, I'll say Nick Wayne did fine here, but probably did the worst out of all of them, right? Because he's a little bit still like doing the pro wrestling, like, and then because, like just not talking conversationally enough.
Never make him a face. Never make him a face. Oh, yeah, he has such a punchable face. Like,
very punchable face.
God, I hate his face.
Yeah. But I think I like where they've kind of left it a little vague here. Yeah, they said it's not necessarily, it's not following a patriarch. They're like, but it's a team, alongside a matriarch, right? We'll see where all that leads to.
And that was
But I
probably
didn't know Mother Wayne
that's
had
what I was
those
gonna say.
chops, man.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize she could cut a promo like that. She did great. She looked the part. She did the part, and
Yeah, she
we'll see
said
what she.
when you struggled to get up, she's like, but that was nothing new for you, right?
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah, she was great.
Oh, she said you struggled to get up until I helped you, right? And she was like, and that was nothing new to you. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Real good stuff. Yeah, but where do we go? Man, there could be a lot of stuff that we could do with these three that could get, again, a little maybe pushing the envelope, a little weird, right? A little like, hey, what the fuck? And then,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's got to come back around to Christian though, right? Christian is going to get involved with this Copeland FTR thing, but like Nick Wayne can't be left untouched from this. Christian Cage gets his revenge, right?
Yeah, I think maybe we'll put a pin in it, right? Like that's where hopefully they just do the one match, Adam and Christian, and then Christian goes, "Hey, that's cool, but I still got business to take care of," and then he leaves.
So that's
Adam.
it. We get to All Out because that's quick. They hug it out. They become the thing, and then we get Nick Wayne out there being an asshole on the next available Dynamite, and then they come out in full early edge and Christian mode and just start humiliating him and running him down. And now they're full face up against the fully heel, Nick Wayne and the matriarch, if you will.
I will say, now that Mother Wayne is talking and looks to be like a manager, there's some interesting things where she could, because again, she was sleeping with Christian, right? Like that was kind of alluded to, right? Well, like lean into that, right? That's where she could start flirting with MVP, and then MJF's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then now it's the Hurt Syndicate versus the Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian, and it's like, well, how the fuck did that happen?
Or you could even get her like she's creating alliances with the Don Callis family, and we're like,
right,
"Ew, Don Callis." She's like, "No, it ain't like that." You know what I mean? Like, no.
Or
And the Don Callis like,
sometimes you gotta, sometimes you've got to do the wrong thing to get the right results.
Sometimes you have to eat your vegetables, right? It's not all candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. All right. Okay. Okada defeated Kenny Omega to win this unified championship at All In. And look, we said these guys will find a way to make a hell of a match out of this thing, right? And I thought they did that. Interesting way, right? Because now it feels like it's got to be unfinished, right? With the way they did Kenny dirty like that.
Yeah, and Don Callis, we need to just get him away from Kenny. There's too much of that. Like if you look at the history of Kenny Omega, and I get Don Callis is a part of it, but it's like it feels like he is the part of it, and that's where just stop with these interfering in the matches. Because
me, Don.
Yeah, that was the
After
best.
that.
Yeah. But the match was good. I think it also kind of fell victim to, at least for me, like, okay, cool, this is going to be fun, but I'm wanting Hangman and Moxley. Like, let's get to that, right? It was right before, I believe, the main event. So they kind of fell victim to that. Now, this is where I want your opinion. So Dynamite, Okada just beats some guy, right? And then he gets on the microphone and he's like, Swerve, basically like, you bitch. And Swerve is like, all right, you're a bitch. Like, let's do something about it. So this is where I think it's interesting. All of a sudden now, what I thought coming out of All In was going to be Hangman Swerve. Well, it looks like Swerve's going to be off with Okada. Well, then you go Hangman MJF. Well, it looks like MJF is off with Mark Briscoe. And that's where I'm saying, like, what are we doing with our champion?
So I saw an interesting thing that hasn't been addressed maybe on screen, but people asked Tony Khan, I think in the press conference and later, and they were like, hey, what gives here? Because part of this match was the Continental Championship was on the line. And your rules say anybody interferes in said match,
then it's
they're
over.
Fired.
They're
fired. And he was like, and he had a response for that. He said it was AEW rules because both things were on the line, right? And they were like, but now that that's done and it's the unified title, it will move forward, be contested under Continental rules. So I think they're going to move forward with that where nobody can interfere in these.
Good. Then that's what I want. And I also want Okada versus Swerve is interesting because to the best of my knowledge, I don't think Okada has lost a match yet. Like, I know he's lost tag matches and stuff, but I'm saying like he getting pinned.
Yeah.
And so, and Swerve kind of loses these matches sometimes, right? He lost the first one to Ricochet. I keep bringing up, he got his ass kicked by Bobby Lashley, and we just go, LOL, let's move on from that, right? Like, he just beat the shit out of him.
Well, I think especially at the time, we were like, well, yeah, everybody gets their ass kicked by Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
in wrestling.
Yeah, I just feel like he needs to come back and be like, okay, hey, now that I got this Hangman thing resolved, but it's Okada, so I'm interested in to see where that
Bobby
goes.
Lashley's probably been waiting decades to kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a trios match. The AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page, the trios champion Powerhouse Hobbs, and Mark Briscoe. And I said this on Blue Sky, like, it felt weird to me, but I was like, looking at that, I was like, this feels like a faction that makes sense to me, oddly. Like, when I saw the three of them together, I was like, I want this more often. I like this grouping of
I like
guys.
these guys. Yeah. I feel like Powerhouse Hobbs goes in any faction, right? You could just put him in anything, and it's like, yeah, that guy
instantly makes it cool, right? You're like, oh, these guys must be cool. Let's look at that guy.
But this faction looked good. To your point, Mark Briscoe, Hangman, the cowboy, and then the chicken farmer. Like, you know, I like that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then Powerhouse didn't feel out of place. It's great.
Yeah.
He's invited everywhere. The Death Riders then were challenging them. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. And I'll say this, Moxley had a different feel to him, right? He had a different, he wasn't
broken.
He did.
Yeah.
Moxley's good. I think it's easy to lose sight because he hits a lot of the same notes, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's a little too over animated with the acting on his movements and stuff, but like he's got some subtleness to him, and he definitely has like body language and stuff that like plays into the storyline without him having to say much. And he's believable and he's gritty. He's really good.
I think he's a fantastic. Yeah, I know during that turbulent time it was John Moxley holding down the fort, doing the promos, then being the champ. But I do think like Hangman is the main character. But John Moxley, I've never watched Star Wars, but like I know that one of the guys is the main character, and then like Harrison Ford is also like somewhat of a main character, but not the guy. That's what John Moxley is, right? It's like he's still a core part of this, but
he's one of the guys that would win Best Supporting Actor, right?
Yeah, every time. Yeah, he's the best supporting actor. He's the Michael Jordan of supporting actors in pro wrestling.
You know what we forgot to talk about in the death match was the spot where Marina goes to get the briefcase and she's handcuffed and Swerve's there like, you bitch.
No, Prinzana.
That's where, it was Nana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Nana.
Right.
Yeah.
Loved got you this time,
Loved
bitch.
It, yeah. He's just laughing at her.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like that. Yeah. The coffee thing is great. I think we need to lean into that. Backstage, have them pouring some coffee. Have them throw coffee on someone if we get them healed. You know what I mean?
Refill Dan the Dad's cup.
Oh, Dan the Dad. Yep. Love Dan the Dad.
Dan the Dad. Now, and the let's see, the good guys won here, didn't they? Right?
Yeah. It was Hangman getting the pin, but to your point, afterwards they were starting to beat up on, I believe it was Hangman.
Yes.
And Darby Allin was like, haha, I'm Sting now, bitch. And as you were mentioning, John Moxley, when he wants to, can turn it on, and he did the, oh shit, I'm seeing a ghost. So yeah, it looks like Moxley again. And I'm just a dumb person right now with a bulging disc in my back, and it's agitating me, and that's why I keep moving around. So apologies if you're watching this, but I'm also just a goof, and it doesn't. Who's the dance partner with Hangman? I'm scared about that because Moxley's got Darby, MJF's got Briscoe, Swerve's got Okada. It's like somebody's got to dance with my guy. Yeah.
They're gonna debut somebody that hasn't been
No,
around,
I hope God, no. And don't bring. Oh, Bryan Danielson came back in the death match too. Came back as I saw someone call him Senior C. I like that. Or Blue Panther, I think is what he was trying to go as, because I think he did that maybe in Mexico once. I could be getting my details wrong. But he was great to see. Doing the dives, which again, stop that. Just do the kicks to people's chests and get out of there, because we don't need any more, because it's scary when you're saying I have a broken neck, and then we're like, okay, hey, dive out of the ring as fast as you can.
Yeah, well, that's like saying you have a fucked up stomach that'll kill you with one blow to it, and then all we do is fucking hit your stomach over and over again. Well, that was Dynamite, and I'm looking back over the All In results just to see if anything we missed. They had the 0 hour where the Sons of Texas came in because it was Texas, so you got a yeehaw, right?
Yeehaw.
Trent beat up a little kid, so that's always good. That's a fun spot. That.
And the Outrunners look like a pack of Marlboros or a pack of
Newports.
Newports, yeah, it looked like a pack of Newports. Thought that was fun. I'm curious
so
to where
great.
they go. Yeah.
That one, like, I understand what we're doing with FTR, so they couldn't really lose that match, but, like, god damn it, man. Can't we do something with the Outrunners here? Can they, like, they can beat the Young Bucks now, right? And get a good rub off of that and shit. Things like that. Like, can we get them a good run here? Like,
and I'm telling you, them going heel and then bringing up the things from the 90s that got canceled out, like smoking in a McDonald's, I think should be their fucking thing. That would be awesome.
Albeit, if you do it right, you could let them be the ones to finally take out the Hurt Syndicate. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but they got beat up once. But yeah, it would be nice if they could eventually do it. But they got to, again, we got some dance partners that are, asking around and no one's really putting their hand up. So we'll see how it goes.
And the Ops, they won, which
Joe's out.
It was,
Joe got his neck broke, so he's gone for a while.
Was that a thing? Did it actually happen?
He's promoting the Peacock show that he does.
As you said, you were like, he's fucked if that was real.
How the doctors got him and was like, hey, I've had a neck injury. If that's how it's real, Joe is not going to fucking walk
he's
again.
Dead. Yeah, he ain't going to walk again. Yeah, he's fucked.
That shit was bad.
And that was it. I think we hit everything else because we're good at what we do here.
Well, and then Ospreay. Well, that was the other thing. Ospreay also got took out. And so...
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many neck injuries are we doing? Because we had a couple.
Well, but
spots here.
is Ospreay going to be the dance partner with Hangman? You know what I mean? Hey, bruv, I kind of helped you get.
Yeah, helped you out. I said, right? Yeah.
So,
man, if we could get a heelish Ospreay like jealous now,
that
like,
favor.
Hey, bruv, I thought we were. Yeah, and he's like, no, what? No, you got to earn your spot.
Yeah.
Bruv, what? What, bruv?
Yeah, I like that idea. I want to see it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But God bless, isn't it amazing to be in the Hangman era? The Hangman rides again.
It feels good, and a large success was All In. Like people online were saying, like, this restored my feeling in pro wrestling, which a lot of us who've been watching AEW for a while have known that about AEW.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So I think that can only help. I think that's good stuff, and it was a great show. I felt like it was really great, just like this is always a great show.
Yes, and I apologize again. I've been a bit distracted because I am in pain, but hopefully it'll get better. Hey, next week is our 12-year anniversary. We're just adding this. Right. Yeah, we're just adding this.
You know what we're going to do special for that? Fucking nothing. We're just going to do the show like normal. This is what we do. We're going to let you guys tell us how great we are.
Yeah, I could compile a list of all the injuries and fucking weird shit that happens to me in the past 12 years. The spider bite, the neck injury, the fucking tumor.
You can't even remember that now. You got, your chemo brain ain't going to let you remember all that.
Gun pulled down me in Houston. Yeah, all the fun shit.
Yeah, for those not understanding what Tom said, next year we will be doing it live on Thursday night on the exact next week, right? Live. On the exact 12-year anniversary of us doing a wrestling podcast here, right? It obviously was not always the All Elite Wrap-Up. It used to be the Spanish announce table, but you can go back and you can listen to all of that if you go to allelitewrapup.com. The podcast links are on there. You can go back to all that. There was #TweetTheTable, the rest of the best episodes.
Yeah, we were having like hundreds.
I love that name. Who gave us that clue? I think that was the trucker or something. Somebody was like, no, you call it the rest of the best, not the best of the rest. The rest of the best. We had that. We had Tim and Tom episodes in there. You can hear all kinds of fun stuff. We have Road Stories. We have a Road Stories episode in
Iceman. Wyatt.
Iceman. Rob Schamberger. Wyatt. Yeah. Yep. All fun stuff in there that you can have, and you can listen to us forever. If you played one episode a day, you'd just fucking...
You'd be a better person.
You would be a better person. And so we expect you back here next week. As we said Thursday, but pay attention to allelitewrapup.com for more details. And until then,
piss off then.